Muted. There we go. Hey guys, it's Tim, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited. As it's Monday, and that means tonight was the Monday Night Raw. Now, as far as tonight's Monday Night Raw does go, I will say I liked the show. I liked tonight's Monday Night Raw, but there was one thing that kind of pulled me away a little bit. Now, maybe that's the wrong terminology. They didn't do enough to build the next pay-per-view. The next pay-per-view is Clash at the Castle. All we got build-up-wise for that show as far as anything new is Chad Gable will, in fact, be challenging for the Intercontinental Championship at that show against Sami Zayn. So when we look at the card, Clash at the Castle 2024, when we look at the card for the show, Clash at the Castle Scotland, 3 matches. 3 matches. Now, granted, you could say 4 because we know AJ and Cody is going to be one. But other than that, it's like, okay, did they tell us tonight we're getting a triple threat for the women's tag titles, maybe? But see, I don't even know. I don't even know if that ends up being a Raw match or not. So it's like, is this going to be another one of those 4, 5 match shows? Like, at least give us 6. I think for a wrestling pay-per-view, 6 is the sweet spot. 6 matches is the sweet spot. What did we get with Backlash 2024 had Backlash of France had 5. I thought that was a really good show. So maybe 5 is the point. Like I said, right now we have 3. Oh, do we get a U.S. title match? I think they wait for that one, even though they're teasing LA Knight. So it's like, I don't know what they're doing this pay-per-view. This Clash of the Castle Scotland, Glasgow, as they're calling it. So we'll see how that all does go down. But that was the one qualm I had with this show, is I wish there was more build for the pay-per-view. And then think about this. Think about this one, guys. We literally have, and let me double check these dates before I say this. June 15th is Clash of the Castle. Then 3 weeks later, Money in the Bank. Like, these shows, they're just throwing them at us very quickly. So we already got 2 people that said they want to be in Money in the Bank. We don't know if they're doing qualifying matches, if you just declare for Money in the Bank. But Jey Uso, Lyra Valkyria both said they want opportunities to be in Money in the Bank. And with them saying that, even if they're going to do qualifying matches, I expect both to end up in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Lyra in the women's, of course. Jey in the men's, of course. Heck, I'd go as far as to say I could see Jey winning Money in the Bank. Yeah, I said it right here. I could see Jey Uso winning the men's Money in the Bank briefcase. So we'll see how that all does play out and everything. But with that, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube. .com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you are watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below, or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel, one of 2 different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get 1 free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And I'd greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, you can go over to YouTube and help us out over there. Hit that subscribe button. That way you know when we post new videos. That way you know when we go live. And that way you know when we post things to the community tab. Hit that join button if you want to become a channel member, even if it's just at the $1 tier. We highly, highly, highly appreciate that, whether that's here on YouTube as a channel member or at patreon.com/PW Unlimited. We have many people signed up just at the $1 tier to give a little bit of support every single month. Greatly appreciated. And finally, head over to the Epic Game Store. Head over to the Epic Game Store and buy something. Whether you're getting into that new season of Dead by Daylight, which is a bunch of new things from Dungeons and Dragons, whether you're getting the new DLC Gold Road for Elder Scrolls Online, or you're pre-ordering God of War Ragnarok on PC, use this code right here, PW Unlimited at purchase, and you supporting us at no extra cost. Maybe you're looking to get the new Frostpunk 2, an older game like Red Dead Redemption 2. Use this code right here. Heck, claim the free game, Chivalry 2, fun as hell game. Claim it and put in this code, PWU NLIMITED, for all Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. Maybe you're looking to get some new stuff for Lego Fortnite. You got some samurai collections that have just dropped in the last week. So maybe you want to go check that out because you get the samurai costume for regular Fortnite, but you also get it for Lego Fortnite. So remember to use code PWU Unlimited for all Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. Now, before we get into Raw, a little bit of a programming note. No Luke tonight. Cool stuff. Cool. Think we should have Luke back with us on Wednesday for AEW Dynamite. And then that's going to be my last live review for about a week. So, I moved this weekend. We're moving from California to Oklahoma. We're leaving Sunday. We'll get there Monday night. It's a 24-hour drive. We're going to split it in 2 days. So because of that, Friday, we're going to start packing everything. My computer's going to be all packed up and everything already, so I'm not going to be able to do a SmackDown review. Again, we're still going to do the Wednesday Dynamite review this week. Because we're getting there late Monday evening into Oklahoma, no review next week for Monday Night Raw. So the hope is get there late Wednesday or late Monday, have the whole U-Haul truck unloaded, the house unloaded, and then starting to set up on Tuesday. And by Wednesday, maybe morning, afternoon, evening, then my computer is set up, everything's good to go, and I could do a Dynamite review next week. That is the hope. Also, something cool I want to try and do when it comes to NXT Battleground this weekend. So, again, like I said, we're leaving on Sunday for our drive out to Oklahoma. And if I have good enough connection, because, I got a secondary phone, I'm going to put the hotspot on my primary phone. And if the hotspot is good enough signal for the secondary phone, I'm going to live stream while I am on the road, while we're driving to Oklahoma. But what that also means is while we're driving, I will have NXT Battleground playing on my phone. I'm not going to watch it while I drive, but I'm going to be listening. And so, if everything actually works, maybe twitch.tv/TimmyBuddy, and then later clipped out for YouTube, we do a live react to NXT Battleground. So you'll get me driving, listening to this show, live reacting to NXT Battleground. That is the plan. Not 100%. Not like, it's going to happen for sure, because I got to see, A, if the hotspot Wi-Fi is even good enough for my phone to the secondary phone to stream, and then B, depending on where in this country between California and Oklahoma I am by the time Battleground is on the air, if I even got any kind of connection or service. So that is the tentative plan, to try and live stream the entire trip. And in doing so, Sunday night, live stream a live react of NXT Battleground from the Apex in Las Vegas on twitch.tv/TimmyBuddy. So I'll keep you guys updated. I'll keep you guys informed through Twitter, and then the community tab here on YouTube, if all of that actually works out. Now, as far as Raw does go tonight, and give me a quick second here so I can take some notes while we're going. Give me a new, fresh page, because I'm old school. I still keep handwritten notes. Handwritten notes with pen and paper. Heck, I got Post-it notes all along my monitors in front of me to keep track of things and stuff as well. Anyways, as far as Raw does go tonight, they opened up the show with a camera shot following fans into the building. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. I don't know why I said Corgan. Braun Breaker and Judgment Day were also arriving at the building. Isla Dawn and Alba Fire could be seen watching Bianca and Jade from the background. JD and Finn wore dark shades, and McDonough whispered something to Finn. Not sure what. Michael Cole said that he was joined by the always controversial Pat McAfee, which, if you know, you know. Little recap on that. Okay, so Pat McAfee is doing his show this morning the Pat McAfee Show on ESPN and YouTube and ESPN Plus. And a lot of people in sports media have been going, look at the ratings we're getting for the WNBA. This rookie class is so great. This rookie class has got so many people interested in women's basketball. Well, Pat did a whole presentation on why it's not the rookie class. It's all Caitlin Clark. And he says, it's all about this, in his words, one white bitch. Those are his words. He called her the one white bitch. And people got upset by that, the term that he used, white bitch. So Pat did go on social media. Pat did apologize for it, said he reached out to Caitlin Clark and apologized to her personally as well, just in case she was offended by it at all. He didn't mean anything by it. It was just, the way he talks and the way he wanted to portray, no, it's her that is getting all these ratings and selling all these tickets, not the entire rookie class. Then, a little bit later at the end of this segment or whatever, on the Monday Night Raw, he calls Braun Strowman, here comes that white son of a bitch. We kind of did it again later. But yeah, that's why Michael Cole called him always controversial Pat McAfee, because he upset a lot of people today calling Caitlin Clark that one white bitch. Anywho, to recap the Liv Morgan segment, or Liv Morgan stuff from last week, beating Becky Lynch and then kissing old Dirty Dom. Liv Morgan enters the ring to open up the show. She welcomes us to the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour. And I go, you trying to be Mercedes Moné? Talking just like her, and then ha, doing the fake as fake can be evil laugh. Get off my goddamn screen. Hell no. We do not need another person talking like that. When you get Mercedes in the ring, great wrestler. But on the microphone, and I don't know if Mercedes is doing it on purpose to be an annoying heel, but she annoys the crap out of me. I've said it before. Mercedes Moné, Sasha Banks, whatever you want to call her. On the mic, annoys the crap out of me. And Liv is doing the same thing now. The same. Again, I don't know if it's on purpose, but she's got the same, dialect when she speaks too. It's weird. It's like she watched old Sasha Banks stuff and was like, she gets good heel heat. I'm going to be like her. Anyways, she said that she took out Rhea Ripley, something no one else could do. And then she became the women's world champion and put Becky Lynch into early retirement. The first of two hints of Becky is gone. Gone. She said the cherry on top, though, last week was kissing Dominic. She boasted about how many social media views that video had encompassed. Dom then enters and the crowd boos. He tried to speak, and they wouldn't let him speak. And he's like, hey, just let me talk. Dom didn't know what this game was that Liv was actually trying to play and warned her, when mommy comes back, she gonna kill you. Morgan said Ripley would kill Dom too because he wants it. And I go, holy shit, Liv is supposed to be Vince McMahon. Liv making unwanted advances to Dominic Mysterio while the Vince lawsuit is still ongoing and now the DOJ is investigating him. What kind of what? Holy shit. Literally. Liv is sexually coming on to Dominic unwantedly. Dominic don't want it. He backed himself into the corner and was kind of just like, no. As Liv is rubbing up on him. Got her hands up in his what is he wearing? The flannel thing or the jacket or whatever he's wearing. But on his t-shirt, but in the other. Holy crap. They're literally doing this. I'm going to sexually come on to you even though you don't want it. Because I think you might want it. Storyline with Liv Morgan. While the Vince lawsuit is still ongoing. You've got to be goddamn kidding me. Wow. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? So, Morgan told Dom that she could make it all worth it. Morgan stepped closer to Dom as he backed into the corner. Morgan wanted to take everything from Rhea, including her Dom. Morgan then put her hands on Dominic until finally Finn Balor would run out and get between the two. Balor said that Dom and Judgment Day wanted nothing to do with her. Morgan wasn't sure about that. And then she departed, tasseling Dom's hair, playing with his hair and whatnot, as she climbed out onto the apron and jumped off the side of the ring. And it's like, God damn. God damn. So Sheamus was in the back of Jackie Redmond. He was pumped to get into the ring with Ludwig Kaiser. He used to think Kaiser was simply Gunther's announcer and coat rack, but realized that maybe Gunther's been holding Ludwig back. Maybe there's more to Kaiser than we actually thought, than just a real-life Ken doll. Sheamus was on the cups of a 15-year career here in WWE and faced the best of the best there's ever been in those last 15 years. He said there was only one way to gain respect, to put on a banger after banger after banger. And is anybody else getting tired of this? Banger after banger after banger. Like, it's kind of getting old now. Sheamus then entered through the gorilla position, but was chop blocked from behind on the ramp by Kaiser. Kaiser attacks before he is broken up by officials, and they check on Sheamus as we go to a break. We do get a 13-minute, 44-second match. It is Ludwig Kaiser versus Sheamus, and they worked Sheamus hurt the entire match. Basically, the story of this match was Sheamus worked hurt. Kaiser injured the leg and the knee before the match, and it bothered him the entire time. So Kaiser targeted Sheamus's leg and spat on him while he was down. The crowd booed at that, and Sheamus kind of smiled and was like, bring it on. Kaiser cut off Sheamus's comeback attempt and drove him into the ring post. Sheamus wound up seated on the steel steps, and Kaiser kind of, ran around the ring and then drop kicked him right into the steps. After a break, Kaiser went for the 10 beats of the Baldwin, but Sheamus blocked it and came back with a clothesline and a power slam. Sheamus missed a knee strike, and Kaiser drove his knee right into the mat. The referee checked on Sheamus, almost calling it off, and then Sheamus grabbed his arm and was like, no, I'm good to go. Don't stop this match. Sheamus then looked up at Kaiser and said, is that all you got? Kaiser hammered away at him in the corner, so Sheamus responded with chops. Sheamus hit a knee strike with the knee exposed because he pulled the knee pad down. And then he went for a brogue kick, but his leg gave out halfway through running across the ring. Kaiser then tried for a schoolboy and only got a 2 off of it, though. Kaiser responded with 10 beats of the Baldwin. Or Sheamus responded with 10 beats of the Baldwin. Sheamus then went for a white noise off the middle rope, but Kaiser slipped away and kicked the leg out from Sheamus once again. Kaiser rolled him up near the ropes and got somewhat of an abrupt out-of-nowhere pin and picked up the victory. Very physical match. Did you see Sheamus's chest? All beet red. All just ground beef. Chopped up. But Ludwig does beat Sheamus here in this 13 minute 45 second match. Great match. This was really good. I love the way they played it up. Sheamus did his part well, selling the knee. Kaiser targeting the knee, being the dastardly. I thought both men played their parts so well. You get a QR code that appeared post-match, also with the word prepare. Actually, was told if you go to the QR code, something's going to happen on Raw Talk. And something did happen on Raw Talk. The open of the show, the Now Then Forever, was hijacked, glitched out. Basically, they said, this is your last chance to repent. A massacre is coming. I think it also says something about I will kill what I created, maybe. So I don't know exactly what we're getting here, what this is all leading to. Well, we know it's going to be Uncle Howdy and whatever this Wyatt group is going to be, whoever that is. A lot of rumors on who that could be. It's going to be Bo as Uncle Howdy. 99% sure is the old Redwood. Why did I just forget his name? Eric Rowan. There's another rumor Nikki Cross might be in this group. Another rumor could get Dexter Loomis in this group. Some fans think that, hell, broke with Matt Hardy, which is why he hasn't actually officially signed anywhere yet. He's just working TNA for the time being. I don't know. we'll have to wait and see. I think it'd actually be kind of cool if it's not Uncle Howdy leading the group, but it is the Fiend. You can put somebody else under the Fiend mask. They don't have to wrestle. They don't have to anything. But the Fiend is like just watching over and directing. We've never heard the Fiend speak when Bray was the Fiend. So whatever voice you want to do, you can do now. You could do a deep brooding, or the voice we hear in some of the glitch stuff. So we'll have to wait and see how it all plays out. But I think there is a way that the Fiend can still be involved in this, and the Fiend could be like the leader of the group, I guess you would say. I know most people think it's going to be Uncle Howdy, but you never know. You never know. Just a fantasy book there. I don't know for sure if the Fiend's involved here. Just fantasy booking. But it'd be cool. It would be pretty cool. Damian Priest is in the back. He approached Dom in Judgment Day, or the rest of Judgment Day. Balor assured him the situation was already taken care of with Liv Morgan. Priest was like, you talked to mommy about this? What did Rhea think? He goes, don't worry about it. Everything's fine. I'm taking care of it. Priest suggested they settle some scores tonight and remind everyone that they run Raw. But a trainer checking on Ricochet and Ilya Dragunov approached him. Dragunov could tell Ricochet was not 100%, but Ricochet didn't care. Dragunov wasn't there to stop him from taking on Braun Breaker tonight, and he knew guys like them needed to live unhealthy and close to the limit. Ricochet then told him, I could walk, I could fight. Dragunov warned him to be cautious because Braun Breaker was weirdly different. I think he said, no, I wrote that wrong. I think he said wired different. I don't know why I wrote it as weird. Maybe it's a spell check thing, and I don't know. Wired different. Ricochet told him that he was also wired different. And he says, yeah, me too. That's why we're there. Ricochet said that he would smack the tan off of Braun. I like that because Braun Breaker always looks massively tan, like extremely tan. Dragon Lee has a match tonight, so they said, hey, just in case you don't know, here's what's up with this Dragon Lee guy and why you should care. Loved it. Thank you. I know who Dragon Lee is. Probably 85 to 90% of the fans know who Dragon Lee is. But if you're someone that doesn't watch every week, you may not know. So thank you. We did have Dragon Lee versus Finn Balor in an 8.5-minute match. The opening match started after a break, and they gave it time before going to another commercial break. This match started with the usual pattern. Dragon Lee hit a suicide dive, and then we went to a break about 2 minutes in. Balor was in control after the break, and Cole said it was due to McDonough's distraction while we were gone. Dragon Lee fought back and chased McDonough off the apron. Balor went for a slingshot, but Lee used a great reversal into a sit-out powerbomb. Lee once again chased McDonough off the apron. That wasn't enough, though. McDonough went back onto the apron for, a third time now? And instead of tossing him from ringside, the ref was like, get down! And then Carlito appears and crotched Dragon Lee. Lee fought off Balor anyway before wiping out Carlito with a dive. Lee hammered away on Carlito, and McDonough tried to blindside him at ringside with a super kick. The ref, again being super stupid, just watched it all. Literally, you would have thought this was an AEW referee. Lee then re-entered the ring. Balor hit him with a drop kick right into the corner. Coup de grace pinned him 1, 2, 3. Finn gets the big victory. So Balor and Carlito then attack Dragon Lee after the match when Braun Strowman will run out. This is when Pat McAfee called him, here comes that white big son of a bitch. So Strowman and Rey Mysterio entered to Strowman's music. Strowman knocked the heels out of the ring, but they escaped through the crowd. And then, the segment just ended. I thought it was a pretty good match. A little bit too much interference for my taste, but not bad. So Sami Zayn was walking through the back. Sonya Deville was seen speaking with Natalya in the background. Remember that? That plays into something later. The Priest had an idea for Carlito if he wanted to actually run with the Judgment Day. So Carlito, go ask Adam Pearce if he can have a match against Strowman. Figure this out and settle it all. Balor and McDonough were amused Carlito, well, didn't seem like it was so cool. R-Truth appeared and told Carlito that being part of Judgment Day was tough. When you were down, they kick you. When you were up, they still kick you. Truth said that those were the best days of his life, though. Camera then panned to reveal Miz just standing there baffled. He reminded Truth that they were currently the tag team champions and the Judgment Day stole his TV. Truth told Miz he was obsessed with Judgment Day and just move on. Don't worry about Judgment Day, Miz. Yeah, we had to get our obligatory R-Truth kind of confused joke. Then we had a really interesting segment with the Alpha Academy, Sami Zayn. So if you know, you know. Chad Gable's contract is up this Friday, June 7th. And as of this morning, he had not signed a new deal. But we're playing this up big because they announced that he will be challenging for the IC title on June 15th at Clash at the Castle. I don't know if maybe he signed something since that report came out or if he's agreed to work till Clash at the Castle. I don't see him losing another IC title match, though, especially to Sammy. I see Chad Gable winning the title at Clash at the Castle. So if that's the case, did he sign a new deal and we just don't know about it yet? I don't know. Very interesting to think about, though. So Sami Zayn enters the ring. Strong reaction from the crowd here in Hershey, Pennsylvania. He was about to, or he said he's so happy to be back in Pennsylvania, the state that he won the Intercontinental Championship. Said he hasn't really been able to enjoy this because, well, there's been a thorn in his side, Chad Gable. Said it's gone on for too long, and he wants to speak to Chad now. We need to just get this over with right here, right now. Alpha Academy's music would hit, but out would come Maxine, Otis, and Tozawa. Dupree came out with a 3x5 card and said that, well, Master Gable is not coming out here, and she has a prepared statement to read from him. Sammy told her she didn't have to do this. Dupree then read the prepared statement. The statement referred to Tozawa as a failure who pretended to be a ninja, Otis as a child who lost his Money in the Bank briefcase, and Dupree as a knockoff Barbie nobody wanted. Basically saying that they would still be those things if it wasn't for Chad Gable. He also said that the only reason that Gunther is no longer the Intercontinental Champion is because of him. He trained Sami Zayn and made him good enough to beat Gunther. King Dijak says, did you see what Maxine was wearing? I mean, yeah, but what about it? It just looked like clothes to me. Was it supposed to be anything special and I missed some like hint into what she's actually wearing? Like, is it something like I don't even know what you're getting at. Did I see what Maxine was wearing? Sure. Saw her clothes, but I don't know if it's like, is it supposed to be something specific or special? Damn what? You said damn. Damn what? Anyways, crowd's chanting for Otis. Zayn agreed to defend his title against Gable at Clash at the Castle, if that really meant that this would be the end. Zayn then dropped his belt because he wanted to speak to them directly. He told Dupree, Otis, and Tozawa that they didn't need to take Gable's crap anymore, and they were better than this. Zayn had been in their shoes before and knew they needed to separate themselves from Gable. Gable would then appear and attack Zayn from behind. Gable hammered away at Zayn as the crowd chanted for Otis, who paced around the ring. Gable held up Zayn and told Otis to hit him. Otis didn't budge, so Gable smacked him across the face, pushing him up into the corner. Tozawa would then step up, get kind of between them, and pull Chad Gable back. Chad Gable would then start to admonish and just talk down to Tozawa before Maxine would also get in the way and pull Chad Gable back. Chad then started yelling at both of them, saying, get out of my ring, I never want to see you again, when Otis would stand between them and Chad. Crowd went crazy. Oh, Bubba, what are we getting? Well, nothing. Nothing yet. So Otis stood up to Chad Gable, but then did Chad's dirty work and gave Sami Zayn a World's Strongest Slam. Chad Gable then stood tall with the Intercontinental Championship. So, yeah, that was it. One step closer to Otis standing up and not taking any more crap, but still doing what Chad tells him to do. We got Braun Breaker. He approached Adam Pearce as he was like, hey, thanks for actually giving me some real competition. But now see what I do next. Basically what he said. Braun Breaker laughed at Sami Zayn getting taken out. And I was like, yeah, I'd break him in half too. Braun then congratulated Pearce on finally doing a good job. Pearce says, you don't deserve it, and you only got this match because Ricochet asked for it. Ricochet, unlike Braun, knew about respect. Braun planned on teaching Pearce about, quote, respect tonight. Pearce didn't put him in the King of the Ring tournament. Nobody was holding him back now. Go to the back, and Chad's all happy with the Alpha Academy. He's like, Maxine, what a great performance. You faked an injury to distract Sammy. And she's like, no, I think I really hurt my ankle. Like, my leg hurts. He's like, still in character. And Tozawa, oh, yeah, you were good out there. My man, Otis. Otis, you're still my number one guy, and I'm looking forward to you helping me win that Intercontinental Championship. We're a team. And so, yeah. Okay. So he thinks talking down to them is all a gimmick. It's all to throw Sami Zayn off. So when Sami Zayn is more concerned about Chad being mean to them, he drops his guard and boom, Chad Gable steps in and wins the IC title. That's what Chad sees it. Not all the other three or anybody else sees it, though. Then we had Braun Breaker versus Ricochet. This match went 8 minutes. Ricochet initially caught Braun off guard until Braun ran him over with a clothesline. Cole said this man runs the ropes at 23 miles an hour. Braun then dropped Ricochet over the barricade ahead of a break. Braun then whipped Ricochet into the corner and looked over at Samantha Irvin, who was unamused by all this. Then they actually showed her on camera saying, that's the real-life fiance of Ricochet. Braun Breaker keeps looking at her every time he doesn't move to Ricochet, and she's not liking it. Ricochet then came back with a springboard clothesline and a lion salt and got a 2 off of it. Ricochet avoided Braun's running attack and hit a super kick and then a recoil. Ricochet then went to the top, but Braun easily scaled the ropes and brought him down with a huge Frankensteiner. Braun followed this up with a spear and pinned him 1, 2, 3. Crowd loved the high-impact offense of Braun Breaker. I will say that. And Michael Cole ended the match by saying, Braun speared him so hard, you're going to need a spatula to scrape Ricochet off the mat. Braun was about to go after Ricochet again, going to kill him with the steel steps, but officials ran down to stop him. Braun was going to smash him anyways when out would come Ilya Dragunov. He knocked him into the crowd. Dragunov then checked on Ricochet, and Braun wasn't done yet. Well, at least he seemed like he wasn't done yet. He wasn't out. He was still standing, basically, I guess you could say. Which is leading to next week, Ilya versus Braun Breaker. Rey Mysterio, Zelina Vega, and Dragon Lee were in the back. They were kind of giving Dragon Lee a pep talk on, hey, you lost to Finn Balor, but it's okay. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. You can't win them all. Rey said that Lee would have won if it wasn't for Carlito, though. Lee would be able to get his payback soon, and they needed to take out the protection first, which is why Rey is going after Damian Priest. Judgment Day might think they run Raw, but they don't run the LWO. Rey would personally deliver a message to Priest later on tonight. Jackie Redmond interviews Kiana James, who was about to make her Raw in-ring debut against Natalya. James called Natty one of the most accomplished stars in WWE history. James took some time to get acclimated under Adam Pearce, but now, well, she's ready to go. She's ready to compete on Raw. Specifically, asked for this match against Natty. She called tonight step 1 on her way to the top. You need time to get acclimated? Yeah, you got other people that aren't even called up that are running around doing matches on Raw, like Roxanne Perez the night after WrestleMania. She's working matches on Raw. She need to get acclimated. Ilya Dragunov, Lyra Valkyria in the King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring tournaments. They didn't need to get acclimated. What the crap is getting acclimated? Anyways, we had a 3-minute match with Kiana James and Natty. Not much to it at all. Natty hit a German suplex and went for a sharpshooter, but James blocked it. and hit her finish, the 401k. Some sort of like a reverse STO flatliner kind of deal, and then pinned Natty. That's really all there was. And then they kept saying something about she calls herself the 1%. So she thinks like she's in that 1 percentile of better than everybody else. This wasn't really all that good. And they just moved right on. And I really questioned Kiana James getting called up in the draft. And this kind of solidified my questioning because she didn't look good against Natty of all people. Natty is what they call a ring general. Somebody who can take someone that's not all that great or just okay and make them look good. Couldn't do that tonight with Kiana James. Kiana James just didn't look all that great. I was not impressed at all. At all. And I wasn't even with her NXT stuff, really. I mean, like I said, when they drafted her to Raw in the draft, my first reaction was, what? Her? She ain't ready. Now, granted, ready to me, maybe different than ready to them. And there's different kinds of ready. Maybe they think she's ready from a character standpoint, like an on-screen presence standpoint. But in the ring, I don't know. This match, 3 minutes and wasn't good. Beth Kelly interviewed The New Day about AOP and Karrion Kross. Xavier Woods says the Kross's plan wasn't going to work. Kingston said that they were the best they've ever been and the best to ever do it, as far as tag teams do go. A lot of teams have tried to get between them. They've all failed, just like AOP would next. They're about to yell, New Day Rocks. When, well, they were cut off by Karrion Kross. Kross said he loves the power of positivity, but, well, it's dead. Kingston warned Kross. They go fight AOP, and AOP hits hard. As they left, Kross stopped Woods and said, remember what I told you. You don't have to always follow him. After tonight, you may not have to anyways, or something like that. And it's like, oh, they talked about taking out Kofi. Like, you really thought they were going to take out Kofi. And so Woods is going to have to be on his own. And they keep teasing, Woods has never won a singles title. Woods has never won a singles title. So it's like, oh, they're going to take out Kofi. Kofi's going to be injured, and then Woods is going to do something on his own? I don't know. And they didn't. Woods is the one that got pinned. But I think what they want is, if you look at the match as a whole, they want you to think, or they at least want Woods to think, he can't trust Kofi to be there for him at all times. So, I don't know where this story is going. So Sonya Deville's in the back. Natalya, looking very disappointed, walked up to Sonya and was like, Sonya, what we were speaking about earlier, I think it's time. Enough is enough, and it's time for change. Which is an old Owen Hart line. Deville's like, I understand it. I get you're not happy, but give me a moment. I see something I need to go handle real fast. And Natty's just like, gotcha. We'll speak later. And so she walks up to Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler, and she was like, hey, Jade, Bianca, they're here. So you guys gonna show them why you're the best tag team in WWE? And Baszler told Deville, leave them alone. So what is going on with Sonya? Is she gonna be a manager now? She gonna start her own little faction? She's hiring clients, maybe, or trying to hire clients. Natty maybe being her first one. I don't know. We'll see. She gonna end up being the main roster's Mr. Stone, advocating for them, getting them opportunities like Robert Stone does in NXT. Then we had a 1.5-minute match. Braun Breaker and Carlito. Another nothing happened in match, but storyline wise, it made sense. Balor and McDonough tried to get involved early, and it didn't work. Carlito tries to use the distraction to hit a blockbuster, but Strowman kind of just brushed him off and slammed him on his face and pinned him. 1, 2, 3. Not even a minute and a half. So then the heels all attack Braun Strowman. Strowman fought them off until he was chop blocked by Dom. Dom grabbed a chair, and Strowman punched it out of his hands. Strowman then lurched around, trying to go after Dom as he crawled away backwards up the aisle. But then Liv Morgan would run in and act as like Dom's shield, basically being like, don't touch him. Strowman then turned his attention back to the other members of the Judgment Day. He was overwhelmed, and they beat his ass with a chair. Morgan tried to once again get close to Dom, and then Balor again stepped between the two. So it's like, do you not trust Dom to say no? Or does Finn think that Dom's going to eventually give in to the sexual advances? Again, we're really running this while Vince is still being investigated? Come on. Really? A, I'm going to come on to you sexually storyline, even though you don't show that you want it. It's not even consensual, Olive Morgan. Even though you're wearing a shirt that says don't touch. You say don't touch, yet you're all touchy-feely on old Dommy Dum Dum. Anyways, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill were shown in the back. They were in gear, and I'm like, oh, gear? We're getting a match. We're getting a match. Bianca and Jade come out to the ring. Great reaction from the live crowd in Hershey. They really don't say much. And then out comes Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. Stark acted surprised that they accepted their challenge because they said, we never see you guys on Raw. We never see the tag titles on Raw. And I'm like, tag titles were on Raw like not even a month ago before they won the belts. What? Huh? Anyways. Belair and Cargill. Where was I? Belair and Cargill mocked them. The Baszler said that, how about we prove who the top team is? And Jade's like, you want to go? We're ready. We can go right now here in Hershey. So like they're all taking off their jackets and getting their entrance gear off. And all of a sudden we hear, hold on a second. Now comes Adam Pearce. He's like, let me just make this clear. I wouldn't just make this as a title match right now, but all four of you agree, title's on the line? And they're like, yeah, let's do it. He's like, all right. Well, then you know what that means. This match, it's official. So we got a 9-minute match. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill defending the Women's Tag Team Championships against Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. The match ends in a DQ. You go 9 minutes, and it ends in a DQ. Why does this need to go 9? Should have went like 5 if it was going to be a DQ. 4 if it was going to be a DQ. Belair and Cargill each hit delayed vertical suplexes ahead of a break. Baszler and Stark gained control during the break, but Cargill gave Baszler a follow-away slam and made her hot tag to Belair. Belair then gave Stark a spine buster and a standing moonsault, but Baszler broke up the cover. They tried to do a double team on Belair, but Cargill yanked Baszler out of the ring. Baszler then avoided a charge, and Cargill crashed in the steel steps. Belair then hit Stark with a KOD, about to pick up the win, and out comes Alba Fire and Nyla Dawn. They attack and cause the DQ. So here's where we maybe get a little confusion. Cargill tried to make the save. She was overwhelmed, and all four women worked together. So I'm sitting here going, why are Zoe and Shayna just so happy to work with Isla and Alba? And I'm thinking about it, I'm like, what? Why are you, what? And then I'm like, well, technically, they saved Shayna. Shayna was about to get pinned off the KOD. No, Zoe was just about to get pinned off the KOD, and they broke up the pin, basically. So it's like they can now say, we never lost, even though we were about to lose. Give us another shot. Whether that's going to be 2-on-2 again, or it's a triple threat, we don't know. But they beat down the tag champs, all four of them. And then Baszler Stark stared down Fire and Dawn, but kind of like smirks on their faces. So it's like, okay, we're cool with it. Whatever. Odd. You could try to make it make sense, but it still doesn't always fully really make sense. Kathy Kelly interviews Damian Priest in the back. He said, Judgment Day has had success tonight, and it's felt really good. He said, Ray has been a thorn in their side for way too long, and while he respects this fight, Priest would close the door on Dom's father. Drew McIntyre would approach Priest. McIntyre said that Priest looked happy. Priest was happy because he was a champion. McIntyre told him, enjoy it while you can. Crowd's chanting for CM Punk. He said this was a high, and the high is you're ever going to get in your career. McIntyre always believed in Priest, but he made things personal when he cashed in on him. McIntyre would be seeing him soon, which he will. Clash at the Castle. But he actually saw him sooner than he thought later on in the night. Then Jey Uso came out. He came out into the crowd and cut a promo on the stairs. Kind of fumbled this up a little bit. This was not Jay's best mic work at all. Not at all. So Jay's in the crowd. Crowd's going wild. He keeps referencing this little kid wearing a Yeet shirt. He said, last summer, I had big plans. The Money in the Bank, it was the Bloodline Civil War. That was tough. I lost my brother. I lost my cousin. He said he stayed in the fight, though, because he knew that one day he would fight on his own. He wasn't a right-hand man. He was the new Jey Uso, the main event Jey Uso. Jey thanks the fans for yeeting on his journey. He then said, now, my next goal, I'm gonna climb to the top of a ladder. And I'm going to enter in the Money in the Bank. And my intentions are to win the belt or a briefcase. He kind of stumbled on this a little bit, which is weird. And then it was just over. Basically, he said, I want to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match. And then right after that, we get Lyra Valkyria, who also basically says the same thing. So, remember earlier when I said that there were 2 references to Becky being gone? Here's the other one. Captain Kelly says, Lyra Valkyria, we know you're the closest in the locker room to Becky Lynch. And have you spoken to Becky on what happened last week, her loss and all of that? And she goes, yeah, Becky is very disappointed. She said that Becky would come back around and make herself better. And Kathy Kelly goes, well, with Becky Lynch gone, what do you see now for you going forward? And that's what she says, without Lynch by her side, she's got to do things on her own. Lyra said that she has shown that she can stand on her own 2 feet. And she heard what Jey Uso said and thinks that she wants to do the same thing, wants to be in Money in the Bank, and then was attacked by Io Sky. Io beat her up, slammed her into an equipment box, and then stormed off. So, yeah. So they basically told us twice, Becky gone. This also does set up next week. We are going to get Lyra versus Io on Raw. They made a 2.5-minute match. It was the Authors of Pain against the New Day. Another short one, then not much happened. ALP worked over Woods. Scarlett distracted the referee. And it seemed like Cross was going to go after Kofi. But Kofi just jumped off the apron to get in his face. Woods was getting beat up, tried to go for the tag, but Kofi wasn't there. He jumped in to make the tag, but no Kofi. Kofi sees it, jumps on the apron. Woods is then pulled away. They then AOP that is, hit Woods with their What a Rush finisher, their neckbreaker sit-out powerbomb, and pin him 1, 2, 3. That's it. I guess they want you to think, or they want Woods to think, hey, you needed Kofi, and he wasn't there on the apron for you. You can't trust the guy. So Jackie Redmond is walking backwards looking at the microphone, and you got Alba Fire and Isla Dawn walking literally steps in front of her, like mere 2 steps in front of her. She goes, I'm backstage trying to get a word with Isla Dawn and Alba Fire. Isla, Alba, can I get a word? And they just stop and they go, what's up? Basically like, calm down. Y'all no need to yell. And basically they were just like, we want to go for tag titles. They said nothing of note. And they said something about how Clash of the Castle in Scotland sounds like a great place for them to challenge. Dawn said that Belair and Cargill look pretty with their belts, but it ain't going to last long when the looks start to fade. So 3 things were announced for next week's show. You know, Lyra Valkyria will take on Io Sky. Ilya Dragunov will take on Braun Breaker. Crowd popped big when they announced that. And in a non-title match, Sami Zayn will go one-on-one with Otis. This then leads to our main event. World Heavyweight Champion Damian Priest against Rey Mysterio in a non-title match. Rey hit an Acai moonsault early on and tried to go for a springboard move in the ring, but Priest caught him with a big flatliner. Priest then remained in control through the break. Priest knocked Rey out of the ring and implored him to stay there, but he crawled back in. Rey hit a spinning heel kick and an enziguri. Priest tried a stinger splash, but Rey ducked and Priest's face hit the post. Rey tried going to the top, but Priest kicked him off the top rope. Rey then hit a seated senton and a springboard crossbody for a 2. Priest then tossed Rey into the corner, landed kind of awkwardly, and Rey fought back with a tornado DDT for a 2. Priest caught Rey off the ropes and hit Snake Eyes in a clothesline for a 2. Priest set up for the Razor's Edge off the middle rope, but Rey blocked it and brought Priest down with a Hurricane Rana. Rey followed this up, with a 619 and a springboard splash for a near fall. Carlito then entered and got on the apron, but Dragon Lee fought him off until he was attacked from behind by JD McDonough and Finn Balor. Rey then wiped out Judgment Day with the corkscrew dive to the outside. He went to go after Priest, but Priest hit him with a South of Heaven chokeslam and pinned him 1, 2, 3. Priest then stood up to celebrate when he was attacked from behind by Drew McIntyre. McIntyre would attack Priest from behind soon thereafter. The crowd chanted for CM Punk as McIntyre hit a Future Shock DDT. McIntyre then set up for a Claymore, but Balor hit the ring. McIntyre chucked Balor aside, also getting rid of Carlito and McDonough. McIntyre then cleared the announce table. He got right in Michael Cole's face because Cole called him a hypocrite. Cole been pissing off wrestlers recently. And then Priest grabbed Drew and chokeslammed him through the announce table. The Judgment Day, well, actually not all Judgment Day, but Priest, Balor, McDonough, and Carlito stood over old McIntyre as a showing off the air. So, are we supposed to look anything into Dom not being out there? Is there a reason old Dom ain't out there? What was Dominic doing? Where was Dirty Dom? We'll see. We'll see what happens. But that, ladies and gentlemen, was tonight's Monday Night Raw. I thought overall as a show, it was a really good show. A lot of character development, a lot of building things, but not really building things for the pay-per-view. Just building things for like next week and building things for whatever. But it just felt weird because they weren't building towards the pay-per-view. It was more like one of those shows where it's like, we got time, but they really don't have that much time. So we'll see. As far as if you're watching on Twitch, we'll get the poll up right now. What did you think of Raw? I liked it. It was all right. I didn't like it. All right, so if you are watching live on Twitch, you can go vote now. Let me know what you thought there as we refresh all the other polls as well. Jaboing. Got that. We got that. And we got this one. As far as the Threads poll does go, 70% liked the show. 30% thought it was just all right. Looking over at the Twitter X poll. 66% liked the show. 30% thought it was just all right. And 3% didn't like it. Looking at the YouTube community poll, 75% liked the show. 19% thought it was just all right. And 7% didn't like it. In the comments here says, I enjoyed it, especially the Liv Morgan stuff. The Judgment Day carried the show. They were a little overexposed, but I can't complain tonight. It made sense. First says it was great, some good wrestling. First says I liked it. Liv Morgan's show now. First called it meh. This person says it's perfect, and this person says I loved it. And at the YouTube live poll, 85% liked the show. 11% thought it was just all right, and 4% didn't like it. Also, everybody that voted on Twitch liked the show. With that, guys, I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. With that, guys, we'll be back on Wednesday for AEW Dynamite. Have a good night. Have a great